don't you go. Baby, please don't you go. Baby, please don't you go. Back to New Orleans, you know I love you so.
Hi, my name is Peter Schütt. I'm from Hamburg, Germany, and I want to share my experience I had in 3 concerts with Big Joe Williams. Big Joe is one of the greatest blues musicians ever. With his 9-string guitar, he is absolutely unique. The first time I saw him was with the American Folk Blues Festival on the 14th of March in '72. The American Folk Blues Festival, invented by Lippmann and Rau in the 60s, was actually bringing blues musicians to Europe and introducing this music to young guys like the Rolling Stones, but also bands in Germany. And they brought it back. It was called the British Invasion a little later in the 70s to the US. So the American Folk Blues Festival in '72 was not the first, but my first, okay? And it was a great pleasure. I really enjoyed it, seeing him amongst others like Robert Pete Williams, and I was really astonished how could somebody have a 9-string guitar. It was a cheap Sovereign guitar from a warehouse where he had added 3 strings, the upper 2 and the A string, to give the whole sound more volume. And okay, I saw him once again a year later on March 19, '73 in the Malersaal. Here's the ticket. And you see I've got the number 274. There were about 400 people in the room. And there's one guy called Axel Küstner who recently gave a short interview to Der Spiegel, the German news magazine, where he described his role being the road manager for Big Bill in the 70s. So I'm not 100% sure, but I guess that Axel was the guy who hit the stage first, explaining everybody that we should stop smoking. In those days it was quite usual that everybody was smoking everywhere. And Axel, explained that Big Joe is already 73 and we should better stop smoking because of his health. Okay, Axel left the room. Big Joe turned around, checked that he is not there anymore, and said, "Could somebody give me a cigarette, please?" And that is blues, okay? Then he started playing. He played about an hour or so, maybe a little more. Then it came to the encores. The crowd was really wow, and hand claps all over, and everybody was very enthusiastic. It was really great concert. So there was an encore, and then one more, and one more. And out of a sudden Axel came back and said, "Oh, we have to stop this now because he's so old and he has to go to have a rest, and please go home," and we stop it. Who didn't care? It was Big Joe. He didn't stop playing. He played on and on and on. So what the next thing was that they did, they switched off the light on the stage and they switched on the lights in the room as a clear signal that everybody should go home. Nobody left. We all kept applauding and singing with Big Joe, and he kept playing. Then they switched off all the lights and it was dark. But now the smokers had the advantage of having lighters, and Big Joe asked everybody to come around sitting next to him on the stage. So 400 people went on the stage sitting around next to Big Joe Williams playing blues. And this was going on for another 20 minutes or so. And then the door was more or less broken open. And who came in? The police. It was actually the one and only concert I've ever been to that was ended by the police. Crazy. I saw him once again. I do not know exactly when, but it was in the little club called Logo, again in Hamburg. The club has round tables with chairs, 3 or 4 rows of it, And I remember that me and my girlfriend were sitting in the second row, just in the middle of the stage. Big Joe started his program, was playing song after song, was great as ever. The crowd was enthusiastic, everything fine. And I was also very happy. And then he sang the song, "Good morning, little schoolgirl, I'm a schoolboy too." No. "Good morning, little schoolgirl, tell your mama and your pa I'm a little schoolboy too." At this very moment, I had carefully listened. I started laughing because this guy, 73 years old, on the stage, said or sang, "Tell your mama and your pa I'm a little schoolboy too." Huh? No. So I laughed about this, and he looked at me, thought for a moment, stopped the song and played another. That was the last evening I've ever seen Big Joe Williams live. And I'm so excited that I'm not the only guy who has some long play records and CDs from him and is still listening. I just recently saw a video on YouTube by Ray Cooder. Ray has bought a similar guitar, has added 3 strings and is playing songs from Big Joe in the Big Joe style. It's not quite the thing, but actually he's coming close. Very impressive. Watch out for this Ray Cooder video, being some kind of Big Joe Williams, one of the greatest musicians ever. Thank you.
Don't leave me here. Don't leave me here. Don't leave me here. You got me way in Chicago. You don't feel my care.